You make good money on paper, but your life doesn't feel anything like good money. You get the notification, paycheck deposited. It's a solid amount. Friends and family probably think you're doing well. But your rent or mortgage hits, the credit card auto-pays hit, the car payment hits, daycare hits, and within a week, you're right back to watching your balance like a hawk. You're checking your banking app before you order takeout. You're waiting for next Friday before you book a flight. You feel guilty buying anything that's not a bill, even though you're making more than you ever have in your life. You're not technically broke, but you sure don't feel free either. That's the quietly broke problem. On the outside, your income looks great. On the inside, you have almost zero flexibility. And here's the part nobody tells you. If you don't fix this now, making more money won't solve it. It will actually make it worse. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why high income so often turns into zero freedom, the math behind where it's all going, and the one number you have to start tracking if you want your income to actually buy back your time. My name's Charlie, this is Charlie Invests, and I spend way too much time thinking about people who make good money but feel stuck and stressed 24/7. If you're someone who's crossed that I should be fine by now income level, but you still feel like you can't breathe financially, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you out. By the end of this, you'll know why you can't feel your high income, how to see through the illusion of I'm doing okay, and a step-by-step way to turn that income into actual freedom, not just bigger bills. Most people think, I just need to get to the next income level, 10K a month, 150K a year, whatever. Then I'll feel secure. That sounds logical, but here's why it keeps you stuck. If you don't change what you do with 80K, you won't magically change what you do with 180K. Let's walk through what quietly broke actually looks like in numbers. Say you're bringing home $7,000 a month after tax. That's already more than most households. On paper, you're doing well. Here's a very normal breakdown. Rent or mortgage, $2,200. Car payment plus insurance, $800. Student loans, $500. Childcare, $900. Groceries, $700. Eating out, delivery, coffee, $500. Subscriptions, streaming, apps, small software, $200. Phone, internet, utilities, $450. Travel, clothes, gifts, random Target runs, $500. Minimum credit card payments, $250. Total, $7,000. So every month looks like this. Money in, money straight back out. Your income is high and your margin, the gap between what comes in and what goes out, is basically zero. You don't feel rich. You don't even feel safe. You feel like if one thing goes wrong, job issue, health, car, family, the whole thing falls over. Now, here's what most people don't realize. The reason you feel quietly broke is not your income, it's your burn rate, how much your life is costing you every single month. And for a ton of high earners, that burn rate inflates silently, right alongside their raises and promotions. Let's put this in perspective. According to Federal Reserve data, roughly 4 in 10 adults would struggle to cover a $400 emergency in cash. But when you slice the data by income, there's a nasty surprise. Even a big chunk of households making 100K plus still live paycheck to paycheck. A Lending Club report in 2023 found that over half of people earning over 100K a year reported living paycheck to paycheck. Over half. These aren't folks at minimum wage. These are I should be fine by now people. So what's actually happening here? Why does a higher income not translate into more freedom? Here's the thing. Your brain is not wired to feel enough. It's wired to normalize whatever you've got, then immediately look for the next upgrade. That's lifestyle creep. You go from a $900 apartment to a $1,600 apartment, from a $300 car to $650 car, from a basic phone plan to unlimited everything with the top iPhone you upgrade every 2 years. You don't say, I'm going to double my lifestyle. You say, I deserve something a little nicer. I can afford it now. Your fixed monthly costs, the stuff that shows up whether you feel like paying it or not, quietly swell to match your income. That's how you get to $7,000 a month in and $7,000 a month out, with nothing left to show. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's say you're 30 years old, making that $7,000 a month after tax, and your total spending is also $7,000. Your burn rate is $7,000. How much freedom do you have right now? Answer, basically zero. If that paycheck stopped tomorrow, how long could you maintain your current lifestyle? If you have $5,000 in savings, your freedom is $5,000 divided by $7,000, which is approximately 0.7 months of runway, about 3 weeks. So you have high income and 3 weeks of freedom, quietly broke. Now flip the math. Let's say instead your life costs you $4,000 a month. Same person, same income, but you've kept your fixed costs low. That same $5,000 savings now gives you $5,000 divided by $4,000, which is 1.25 months of runway. Same money in the bank, twice the freedom. Change the burn rate, change the freedom. Let's scale it up. Suppose over a few years you manage to invest and save up $120,000 between savings, retirement, brokerage accounts. If your burn rate is $7,000 a month, that's $120,000 divided by $7,000, which is approximately 17 months of freedom. But if your burn rate is $4,000 a month, that's $120,000 divided by $4,000, which is 30 months of freedom. Same net worth, almost double the freedom. This is why I say your income number and your net worth number are much less important than your burn rate. Now, why do smart, high-earning people let their burn rate spin out of control? Part of it is social and psychological. You upgrade your job, your social circle upgrades. People around you are doing nicer trips, driving nicer cars, living in better apartments. You don't think, I'm going to impress people. You think, this is just normal now. Your baseline creeps up. Another piece is mental accounting. You tell yourself, it's fine, my bonus will cover it, or I'll pay it off when that raise hits. Future you is always there to bail out present you, until future you is exhausted and absolutely is stuck. And absolutely none of this feels reckless in the moment. You're not out buying yachts, you're buying standard things for your income level. The place near the city, the new SUV for safety, the Peloton subscription, the daycare that doesn't feel like a dungeon, eating out because you're exhausted and your time is limited. Look, this isn't about you being stupid with money. High earners aren't secretly dumb. The system is just perfectly designed to convert your pay raises into fixed costs, not freedom. Banks will happily lend you on a bigger mortgage because you can afford more. Car dealerships will happily stretch your loan to 72 or 84 months because the monthly payment fits your income. Your employer will keep you golden handcuffed with stock vesting schedules and benefits that are great as long as you never leave. This is where it gets sneaky. You can have a household income in the top 10 to 20% of the country and be more trapped than someone making half of what you do because your life is now so expensive to maintain that you can't afford to change anything. In Part 2, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to calculate your burn rate, how many months of your life you actually own right now, and the specific levers you can pull to go from quietly broke to quietly free.
So what do you actually do about this? How do you turn quietly broke into quietly free? The first step is brutally simple and brutally uncomfortable. You need to know your real monthly burn rate, not your ideal budget, not the number in your head, the real number. Open your banking app and your credit card statements and look at the last 90 days. Add up how much actually left your accounts each month. Include rent or mortgage, all loan payments, car, student, personal, credit card minimums, child care, utilities, phone, internet, groceries, eating out, delivery, coffee, subscriptions, streaming, apps, software, gyms, boxes, gas, transport, Ubers, random Amazon and Target runs, travel, gifts, clothes, fun. Total that for 3 months, then divide by 3. That's your real burn rate. Not what you wish you spend, what you spend. Most people are shocked when they see this number. I've seen people who swear they live lean at $4,000 who are actually burning $6,200 a month once you include everything. That gap is exactly where your "where did my money go" feeling lives. Once you have that number, here's the mental flip. Stop asking, "How much do I make?" and start asking, "How many months of my life do I own?" The formula is simple. Freedom months equals total liquid savings and investments divided by monthly burn rate. If you've got $20,000 saved and invested, not counting home equity, just stuff you can access, and your burn rate is $6,000 a month, $20,000 divided by $6,000, approximately 3.3 months of freedom. 3 paychecks. That's it. If that makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is what actually changes your behavior. Because now, when you're debating that next lifestyle upgrade, you're not asking, "Can I afford the monthly payment?" You're asking, "How many months of freedom am I trading away for this?" Let's talk about what actually fixes the quietly broke problem, because make a budget is not it. Budgets are fine, but if a budget doesn't change your defaults, it's just a spreadsheet full of guilt. There are 3 levers you can pull. Lower your burn rate, redirect your surplus automatically, and protect your future time from current you. First, lowering your burn rate. This does not mean you move into a tent and eat rice and beans, but for most high-income people, there are 2 to 3 line items doing enormous damage. Usually, it's some combination of housing, cars, and lifestyle subscriptions/convenience. Housing. Can you renegotiate rent, move slightly farther out, or take on a roommate temporarily? On a $2,200 rent, negotiating even $150 to $200 off at renewal is $1,800 to $2,400 a year and drops your burn rate permanently. Cars. 2 car payments at $600 to $800 each will quietly eat your freedom alive. Selling an overpriced car and buying something boring and reliable can literally buy you months or years of future runway. Lifestyle/convenience. Eating out, delivery, Ubers, subscriptions, we deserved it weekends. Cutting $400 to $600 here doesn't sound sexy, but at a $6,000 burn rate, dropping it to $5,400 is a 10% increase in your freedom without changing your income or your job. Second, redirect your surplus automatically. This is the payday rule applied at a higher level. Once you create a gap, even a small one, between income and burn rate, you cannot let that gap just sit in checking. It will quietly turn into upgrades. Set a target. Let's say you earn $7,000 a month and you get your burn rate down from $7,000 to $5,500. That's a $1,500 a month surplus. You decide, first $500 goes to building or topping up your emergency fund. Next $1,000 goes straight to investment accounts and/or aggressive debt payoff. And you automate it. Transfers scheduled the day after your paycheck hits. If that money doesn't leave your spending account, your brain will find things to do with it. We can afford nicer flights. That new furniture would look so good. I worked hard. I deserve this. Third, protect your future time. This is the part almost nobody thinks about. Every long-term fixed commitment you sign, 5-year car loan, 30-year mortgage at the top of your range, private school, a bunch of buy now, pay later stuff, is a claim on your future months. You're pre-spending years of your life, and when you stack enough of those, you trap yourself. That's how you end up hating your job and being unable to leave, because your life is built for your current income and nothing lower. Going forward, you need a hard rule with big financial decisions. Does this make me more free or less free over the next 5 to 10 years? Not can I swing the payment, but what does this do to my burn rate and my freedom months? Let me give you a quick story that shows how this plays out. We'll call him Mark. Mark is 34, making about $180,000 a year before tax. After tax, he's taking home roughly $10,000 a month. On paper, crushing it. In reality, here's his life. Downtown apartment, $3,000. BMW payment plus insurance, $1,200. Student loans, $700. Travel, eating out, bars, about $1,500 a month. He doesn't think it's that much, but the statements say otherwise. Groceries, $600. Subscriptions, apps, gym, and random, $600. Utilities, phone, internet, $500. Credit card payments, $700. Carried balance of about $9,000. Total, $8,800 to $9,000, most months, sometimes more. He has about $12,000 in savings and investments, plus a 401k he's not really tracking. Realistically, his burn rate is about $9,000 a month, so his $12,000 in liquid savings buys him about 1.3 months of freedom. That's it. He hates his job. He dreams about taking 6 months off to travel or switch careers, but in his current setup, if that paycheck stops, he's stressing in about 4 weeks. We sat down and did the uncomfortable math. He hated it. Then we started pulling levers. He moved from the fancy downtown place to a still nice apartment 15 minutes farther out. Rent dropped from $3,000 to $2,100. He sold the BMW, paid off the loan, and bought a used Toyota in cash with part of his savings plus the sale proceeds. Car costs dropped from $1,200 to about $250 a month, insurance and gas. We cleaned up subscriptions, canceled about $180 a month worth of forgot I had that. He agreed to cap eating out and bars at $800 a month instead of $1,500. New burn rate, rent $2,100, car plus insurance plus gas $250, student loans $700, eating out and bars $800, groceries $600, subscriptions, gym, etc. $420, utilities, phone, internet $500, credit card payments, now with extra going at it, $1,000, random and travel $600. Total, about $6,970, call it $7,000. Same income, burn rate dropped from about $9,000 to $7,000. That's an immediate $2,000 per month surplus. We then applied the payday rule. Every payday, $1,000 auto-transferred to a brokerage account, $1,000 to extra debt payoff until the credit card was gone. Within a year, the credit card was at zero. His savings and investments outside retirement climbed from $12,000 to over $35,000. With a $7,000 burn rate, that's 5 months of freedom instead of 1. A year prior, he couldn't imagine taking even a month off. Now he could quit and have a legit runway to find something better. Same career, same income, radically different freedom because he attacked the quietly broke structure instead of just chasing more money. So how do you start fixing your quietly broke problem right now? Here's the simple do-it-today plan. Step 1, calculate your burn rate. Look at the last 3 full months of spending. Add up everything that left your accounts. Divide by 3. That's your burn rate. Write that number down. Step 2, calculate your freedom months. Add up your accessible savings and investments, cash, high-yield savings, brokerage. You can ignore retirement for this quick exercise. Take that total and divide it by your burn rate. That's how many months of your current life you actually own. Step 3, pick your first target. Maybe you're at 1 month and your goal is 3. Maybe you're at 3 and your goal is 6. Pick something you can hit in 12 to 24 months. Step 4, create space. Look at the big 3, housing, cars, and lifestyle. Where can you cut permanent monthly cost without destroying your happiness? A $200 rent reduction, a $300 cheaper car, $300 less in lifestyle spending is $800 a month. Over a year, that's almost $10,000 and more than a full month of burn rate for many people, without changing your income or your job. And step 5, automate the surplus. For every dollar you free up, set an automatic transfer on payday to move that money out of checking into savings or investments. Don't rely on, I'll move it at the end of the month. That's how people stay quietly broke forever. And step 6, no new golden handcuffs. When a raise or bonus hits, don't immediately upgrade your fixed costs. Let your lifestyle lag your income. Decide in advance, X% of any raise goes straight to freedom, savings, investing, debt payoff. Only Y% can go to nicer stuff. You're not bad with money. You've just been optimizing for looking fine instead of being free. The